Another Major League Baseball All-Star Week is in the books, and in the latest chapter of How Can the Powers That Be in MLB Continue to Screw Up the Sport? They rolled out these bland uniforms that simply read American League and National League, and as far as I'm concerned, the American League ones, they were the worst. It was just gray and pinkish red sleeves, and honestly, there are rec league softball teams out there that have better looking jerseys. Heck, you know what? There are websites out there that I can go to and I can make myself a better looking baseball jersey than what they had at the MLB All-Star Game. For decades, players would just simply wear the uniforms of the teams they belong to at the All-Star Game, which is the one All-Star game where you can get away with doing that because the players aren't mingled together like they are in football and basketball and hockey. So there, you need to have specialized uniforms so you can know which guys are on your team and which guys aren't. And having MLB players wear their team uniforms worked for, well, ever. Until a couple of years ago when Commissioner Rob Manfred and his cronies went, let's change it. Why? Why not? Change for the sake of change, which seems to be MLB's mantra these days. There was absolutely no reason for this, and I can say that about a lot of changes that the league has made over the years, but I don't know what it is. It just seems like the people who run MLB are determined to erase everything that has made Major League Baseball great and meaningful and special. Just simply, hey, we've been doing this for a long time and we need to do it a different way. Because, now, times like this, I go back to Jeff Goldblum's great line in Jurassic Park when he said, just because your scientists could do it doesn't mean they should. Well, those all-star uniforms, I'll tell you what, they got blasted all over social media, all over the media, not just by fans. The legend, Dick Vitale, one of the greatest college basketball broadcasters ever. Dick Vitale said MLB needs to go back to players wearing their team uniforms at all-star games. Even Bryce Harper from the Philadelphia Phillies said the same thing. And this took me by complete surprise. Rob Manfred is actually considering this. So maybe next year the All-Star Game will go back to the way it was when it comes to uniforms. Still won't be enough to make me start watching present-day MLB, but at least it'd be a change for the better. Though, honestly, I'll believe it when I see it because I wouldn't trust Rob Manfred to pack a lunchbox, much less run a professional sports league. And then, of course, the other thing to come out of All-Star Week was the horrendous performance of the national anthem at Monday's Home Run Derby by Ingrid Andress, who, honestly, I never even heard of her until that night. But again, country music ain't my thing. I'm more of a metalhead. And when I listened to her rendition of the national anthem, I kid you not, I was cringing. For those of you watching here on our Facebook Live or on YouTube, this was my reaction when I heard her sing the national anthem. Tell you what, if an enemy nation decided to use that for torture, yeah, you know what? I'd hand over the nuclear secrets. But the funny thing is, like, some people were wondering online, going like, is she on something? And I was wondering that too. And unfortunately, it turned out that, yeah, she was on something because Andress, who I think they said was nominated for 4 Grammys, announced she was indeed drunk during that performance. And she also said she'll be checking herself into rehab. And some people out there are taking issue with her official statement because it ended with, I hear it's super fun. So some people are probably thinking she's not going to take it seriously. I'm going to be honest with you, folks, and this might surprise some of you out there. I don't have a problem with that comment, mainly because some people use humor as a defense mechanism in these situations. Basically, if I don't make a joke right now, I'm going to break down and cry. Also, I'm just a fan of dark humor and gallows humor, so I don't get triggered by comments like that. And seriously, folks, I truly hope that Ingrid Andress gets the help she needs in rehab. And I know people are saying that her national anthem performance was worse than Fergie's at the NBA All-Star game a few years back. Well, maybe it is, but Ingrid Andress admitted she was drunk at the time. So, Fergie, what's your excuse? Now, let me end this on a positive note. I'm going to say something positive about present-day MLB, and I know, that's a shocker for all you folks out there. And it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on the field. This is something off the field, specifically at Coors Field in Colorado, because the Rockies introduced something new at their concession stand: Polar Pasta. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is that? Well, it's vanilla ice cream shaped in a way that it looks like spaghetti noodles. The meatballs are actually chocolate donut holes. The marinara sauce is actually strawberry syrup, and it's topped off with mint garnish. I saw a picture of that on Facebook, and I would definitely use one of my cheat days to devour that sucker. It's way more appetizing than that Sugar Rush dog the minor league team from Erie, Pennsylvania had, taking a hot dog and wrapping it in cotton candy and sprinkling Nerds candy on it. Ugh. Talk about puke-inducing. Man, I'll take the Polar Pasta any day over that, because that looks really good. And speaking of really good, today, we recognize the ladies who did really good in their chosen sport as we present the Tri-City Sports Roundup Top 10 Local Female Athletes of the Year for 2023-2024. And oh boy, I gotta tell you, this list was packed with outstanding candidates. I think I had 21 very deserving candidates on the list for this year, so really hard to leave some of them off, but somehow I did narrow it down to 10, so let's get to it with number 10. She was an unstoppable force at the 1A level, slicing her way through opposing defenses to rack up an insane amount of points in every game. When the season wrapped up, her average of 19.1 points per game wasn't only the best in the Central region, it was the best in the entire conference. But she did more than put the ball through the hoop. She also snagged 205 rebounds during the season and led the 1A conference in steals with 188. And for good measure, she chipped in 50 assists. Along with earning a spot on the All 1A Conference second team, she was also named the Central Region Player of the Year. She was just as successful in the classroom, posting a 4.0 GPA, which helped her get a Lumberjack scholarship to attend NAU starting this fall. Congratulations to Danny McCann of the Mare basketball team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 10 Local Female Athlete of the Year. Next, number 9. She spent most of the season just swinging the bat as her team's designated player, and boy, did that position suit her fine. Her 12 home runs and 44 RBIs put her at number 1 in the CalPAC Conference in both categories. No Triple Crown, unfortunately, but her .374 average was the 5th best in the conference. She also led the CalPAC in slugging percentage at .848 and extra base hits with 22, while putting up a .458 on-base percentage, 2nd best in the conference, 84 total bases, also number 2 in the conference, and 33 runs scored, tying her for 3rd most in the conference. She rounded out her stats with 9 doubles. All that offense helped her team win the CalPAC title for the 3rd year in a row and qualify for the NAIA World Series. It also earned her a couple of nice awards: National Fast Pitch Coaches Association All-Region First Team and All-CalPAC First Team. Best of all, she'll be knocking the ball all over the yard next year. Congratulations to Leah Solis of the Embry-Riddle softball team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 9 local female athlete of the year. Before we go to break, we're going to give you one more. Number 8. She burst onto the scene her freshman season by winning the Cal Pac Conference Individual Championship. In her senior season, well, it was like that song by Yngwie Malmsteen, Deja Vu, because she became the individual conference champion again. But this young lady wasn't done there. She had a very good performance at the NAIA National Tournament, finishing in 21st place. What did that get her? How about a spot on the NAIA All-American second team? She also received another All-American award, this one an honorable mention from the Women's Golf Coaches Association. She leaves her school as one of the top golfers to ever have competed for the program. Congratulations to Haley Stevenson of the Embry-Riddle Golf Team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 8 local female athlete of the year. We're just getting started with our top 10 local female athletes of the year. Who else makes the list? And who has the top spot this year? Who is the number 1 local female athlete of the year? All that and more is coming up on the other side of this break here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here. And yeah, a little bit of a different direction for our bumper music. For those of you listening on the radio side, that was Ed Van Fleet and Fire of Joy. No, it's not a metal singer or anything. It's not a metal band. He's actually a new age artist. And yes, there are some new age artists that I actually do like and listen to. I know. comes as a surprise. Anyway, probably what doesn't come as a surprise is Danny McCann of the Mare girls basketball team making our top 10 local female athletes of the year list. She came on at number 10. And we're going to go to the phones right now, and we are going to talk to Danny McCann's coach, and that is Nick Colquitt. Hey, Coach, good morning, and thanks for joining us here on Tri-City Sports Roundup.
Good morning, John. Thanks for having me.
So anyway, as I said, Danny McCann, well, she started off our top 10 list. She came in as the number 10 local female athlete of the year. And maybe some people will say, hey, look, it's just 1A. It's the smallest conference in the league. But you know what? Whether it's 1A or 6A, when you look at Danny McCann's stats, this girl was just outstanding and certainly deserving of all the accolades that she got this year.
Yeah, without a doubt. Being from a small school, we have a small roster, so she had a lot more opportunity, but she was somewhere in the range of about 30 minutes per game playing time. And even at her small stature, it takes a lot to go out and do what she did on a nightly basis, whether it was scoring or setting up her teammates to score or just willing us to a win.
And I think that's the big thing, because I think, well, obviously everyone pays attention to offense, because let's face it, offense, that's the sexy stats, you know. But, I mean, when you look at Danny's stats, she did so much more for you than just score. You look at all the rebounds she had, and I think the most astounding one was the number of steals she racked up. So if you want to talk about a great two-way player, that was definitely Danny.
Yeah, no, and a lot of her offense came from that. A lot of our team's offense came from our defense, and still waiting on confirmation. It was our final game of the year that she had 20 steals in a game, and that is an all-time state of Arizona record for steals in a game at 20. And all those steals racked up led to fast breaks and offensive opportunities for the team.
Mm-hmm. And along with her being just an outstanding basketball player, also an outstanding student, 4.0 GPA, gets the Lumberjack Scholarship, going to attend NAU. And I'm sure that is probably meaningful to you and her family more than all the stats she racked up for your team.
Oh, absolutely. I know what I coach and who I coach, and not a lot of us are going to go to the WNBA or any Division I colleges, and then even some of the small colleges. So I push them to go to school, and for her to get that Lumberjack Scholarship was tremendous on both parts. She's going to be a forensic scientist in something. She hadn't made up her mind yet, and it's a great opportunity. And then also while she's up there, I just talked to her the other day, she's actually going to start coaching a YMCA basketball team.
Oh, good on her. Hey, Coach, always a pleasure to talk to you here. And again, thank you very much for joining us here on the show and giving us a little more insight into Danny McCann of the Mare girls basketball team, our Tri-City Sports Roundup, number 10 local female athlete of the year. Coach, you have yourself a good one.
You too, John. Thank you for everything you do for us.
Oh, you got it. You got it. Have a good day.
Excuse me, folks. All right, again, Nick Colquitt, head coach of the Mare girls basketball team. Let's get back to our top 10 list. We are at number 7. She had a phenomenal season in 2022, racking up a ton of honors. 2023, however, would be even more phenomenal for her. Few setters in the nation ran the offense better than this native of Montana, as she led the CalPAC Conference with 1,088 assists. But she did more than just set up her hitters. She was a threat in just about every aspect of the game. She posted 273 digs, 168 kills, and 48 blocks from the setter position, and chipped in 24 ace serves for good measure. To the surprise of no one, she was named the CalPAC Conference Setter of the Year for the second straight season and also earned an All-American honorable mention from the American Volleyball Coaches Association. Oh, and she also slayed it in the classroom as she made the AVCA All-Southwest Region Academic Team. And here's some more good news. She still has one more year of eligibility left and will be coming back to play in the fall as a graduate student. Congratulations to Katie Roll, or if you prefer, Katie Rock and Roll of the Embry-Riddle volleyball team. The Tri-City Sports Roundup, number 7 local female athlete of the year. Next up, we've got number 6. She isn't what you would consider a slugger, but she was a master of getting on base and moving runners over. She won the CalPAC Conference batting title with a .435 average and was also tops in on-base percentage with a .496 mark. The rest of her stats were also darn good. 3 home runs, 38 RBIs, third most in the conference, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 27 runs scored, a .617 slugging percentage, the 4th best in the CalPAC, 71 total bases, the 5th most in the CalPAC, and 13 extra base hits. The other coaches in the conference were so impressed with her performance, they named her the CalPAC Player of the Year. That was just the start of the parade of honors for this young lady. She was named to the NAIA All-American Third Team, the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association All-Region Second Team, and because of her awesome grades, she was named an NAIA Scholar Athlete and made the College Sports Communicators All-District Academic Team. You can bet this Tucson native is ready to rock it with the bat in her senior season. Congratulations to Emma Almodoba of the Embry-Riddle softball team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup, number 6 local female athlete of the year. Up next is number 5. This Hawaiian was a rarity in college athletics. She was a 2-sport athlete. Her primary sport is soccer, and she ruled the pitch in her junior year. She recorded 6 goals and 7 assists, which got her named to the All-CalPAC Conference First Team for the 2nd straight season. But she wasn't done there. She was also named to the NAIA All-American Third Team and was recognized for her work in the classroom by earning spots on the NAIA Scholar Athlete Team, the United Soccer Coaches Academic All-American Team, and the College Sports Communicators Academic All-American First Team. In the spring, she joined the track team late in the season, but despite the short training time, she was the conference runner-up in the 800-meter run, the 4x400 relay, and the 4x800 relay. She may stand only 4'11", but she has accomplished big things. Congratulations to the Death Ray, Ray Yoshioka of the Embry-Riddle soccer and track teams, the Tri-City Sports Roundup, number 5 local female athlete of the year. On to number 4. This young lady continued her team's tradition of producing outstanding runners. She began her senior season with a 5th-place finish at the George Kite Invitational in Flagstaff and turned in one solid performance after another throughout the regular season, including a 1st-place finish at the Embry-Riddle Invitational. It all led to the CalPAC Championship meet, where she opened up a big lead over her opponents to win the individual conference title for the 2nd straight year and help her team win its 9th straight CalPAC title. She then finished 51st at the NAIA National Meet, but her most impressive race was yet to come. She competed in the NAIA National Marathon in Sacramento and finished as the national runner-up. She may have graduated with a degree in forensic biology, no less, but she has certainly left her mark on this program. Congratulations to Josie Gregory of the Embry-Riddle Cross Country Team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup, number 4 local female athlete of the year. Now we come to number 3. First, she made her presence felt on the soccer field, posting 7 goals and 5 assists for 19 points. That earned her a spot on the All-Grand Canyon Region 2nd team. When spring rolled around, she was in uniform for the track and field team and became one of their big point scorers during the regular season. But she really shined in the postseason. At the Division III state meet, she placed 3rd in the 100-meter dash and 5th in the 200-meter dash. Then came the relays, where she was part of the state runner-up 4x100 team and part of the state champion 4x400 relay. That 4x400 team also got to compete in the open state meet against teams from all divisions across Arizona and had an 8th place finish. And She did all this coming back from a serious knee injury. Congratulations to Violet Williams of the Prescott soccer and track and field teams, the Tri-City Sports Roundup, number 3 local female athlete of the year. Now we are up to number 2. It's back-to-back with soccer players / track and field athletes on the pitch. She recorded 5 goals and 8 assists on the season, which put her not only on the All-Grand Canyon Region first team, but also on the All-4A Conference second team. But she was not done yet showing off her athletic prowess. She was a key member of the track and field team. After her most excellent regular season, she turned it up to level 10,000 in the postseason. She achieved 2 top 10 finishes as an individual in the Division III state meet, coming in 3rd in the 300-meter hurdles and 6th in the high jump. Then came the relays, where she was part of the state runner-up 4x100 team and part of the 4x400 team that won the state championship. That relay also went on to finish 8th in the open state meet versus teams from all the divisions in Arizona. If she did all this in her junior season, what will she do for her senior season? Congratulations to Kenzie Blanchard of the Prescott soccer and track and field teams, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 2 local female athlete of the year. So, folks, guess what that brings us to? Number 1. So, who's going to make our number 1 local female athlete of the year? Who's going to grab the top spot for this year? Well, folks, we got a break to get to here. We've got some bills to pay. So after we get through our commercials here, we're going to come back. We will unveil the number 1 local female athlete of the year for 2023-2024. Stay tuned for more of the Tri-City Sports Roundup. We'll be back right after this. We are back on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here. Thank you very much for joining us on today's show as we present the top 10 local female athletes of the year. We are almost ready to tell you who number 1 is on the list, but before we do that, we're going to run down numbers 10 through 2. Number 10 is Danny McCann from the Mare basketball team. Number 9, Leah Solis from the Embry-Riddle softball team. Number 8, Haley Stevenson from Embry-Riddle golf. Number 7, Katie Roll from Embry-Riddle volleyball. Number 6, Emma Almodoba from Embry-Riddle softball. Number 5, Ray Yoshioka from Embry-Riddle soccer and track and field. Number 4, Josie Gregory from Embry-Riddle cross country. Boy, oh boy, Embry-Riddle really dominating the list this year. Number 3, Violet Williams of Prescott Soccer and Track and Field. Number 2, Kenzie Blanchard of Prescott Soccer and Track and Field. And now, here we go, number 1. For the past couple of years, she has had one goal in mind, to be the best in the state at her sport. Well, mission accomplished. She notched win after win after win and did not lose at all during the regular season. But could you keep that unbeaten streak going in the postseason? Absolutely. She made it all the way to the championship match and won the whole darn thing. That put her overall singles record at 17-0 for the season, and she was just as dominant in doubles, going 16-0 with her partner. Those accomplishments got her named both the singles and doubles player of the year for the section, and well, if you're state champ, no surprise, she was named the Division II Singles Player of the Year. Before she graduated, she was also voted her school's Female Athlete of the Year. Now, she will forever be known as a state champion. Congratulations to Riley Crockett of the Prescott Badminton Team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup 2023-2024 number 1 local female athlete of the year. Thank you, Dr. Hancock, for letting me borrow your iPad with the sound effects. I think that was very appropriate here at number 1. Also very appropriate, we're going to go to the phones. We're going to talk a little more about Riley Crockett's outstanding season because on the line with us, we have this year's Tri-City Sports Roundup number 1 local coach of the year, who's with our Tri-City Sports Roundup number 1 local team of the year, who will talk about our Tri-City Sports Roundup number 1 local female athlete of the year, and that is none other than Bobby Yoder. Hey, Bobby, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, John. Thanks for having me on.
Oh boy, it seems like Prescott Badminton, they're just bogarting the number 1 spots in all of our top 10 lists, but deservedly so. And Riley Crockett, I mean, being a state champ is just an incredible accomplishment in itself. But when you look at her record match by match to go unbeaten in both singles and doubles, that is one special season for that young lady.
Yeah, she's had a special career here, for sure, for someone coming in that had never played it before. Mm-hmm. She definitely made history for the program. We're about to go into our 50th season of badminton at Prescott High School, and in those last 49 years, no one has done what she's done. She was the Division II badminton single state champion this year. Last year, she was the doubles state runner-up. She's helped us to 4 section championships, like all 4 of her years. Like you said already, she was the singles player of the year for Division II. She was the Northwest section singles and doubles players of the year for this year. And she's been the Division II Northwest section doubles player of the year the last 3 years, sophomore, junior, and senior year. And that's the first time that's ever happened in program history. And she's done it, amazingly enough, with a different doubles partner all 4 years. And that's easier said than done. Mm-hmm. So, she's just a tremendous athlete, and she's worked pretty hard.
So what do you think are some of the reasons why Riley was able to just completely play out of her mind this year, win the state championship, and also go undefeated in her doubles matches?
I think it's a culmination of, everything she's done over the last 4 years. you don't just walk in and do that. You got to put a lot of time in to kind of perfect your craft, and she definitely did that. And with badminton, and I think a lot of sports, but definitely badminton, there's a mental part to the game, and that's something that she really had to work on, like all 4 years. And she's come a long way, to get herself in the position physically, mentally, and skill-wise to be able to compete for that. And so that was a lot of hard work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, a great 4-year career and certainly an incredible senior year. One incredible enough to make Riley our #1 local female athlete of the year. Well, now she's done at Prescott High School. So what's in the future now for Riley Crockett?
She's actually moving on to Yavapai College to the next stage of her education. And then I don't know where she'll end up transferring from Yavapai, but that's the next step for her, is to get an education, and she's starting here locally at Yavapai College. So
good. And well, I mean, you mentioned about the hard work that Riley puts in, and I've said this before to you. I've said it on the show that obviously, badminton isn't a sport that gets, a lot of the spotlight that, say, football, basketball, or baseball does. But, when you look at the success that your team has had over these past 4 years, it obviously does take a lot of hard work, and there are some other really, really good badminton teams out there in Division II. So,
yeah.
What has been some of the secrets to Prescott's success over the years, where year after year you're in the running for that state championship, and now this year you wound up having an individual state champion?
Yeah, well, I think the main thing that we can attribute it to is just getting athletes in the program. That's probably the number one thing. You get athletes in here, and they pick up the sport quick, and they end up, realizing that they kind of love it, and they have fun with it, and it's like a big family. These girls are all friends, and they just enjoy it, and they get to a point where they commit, and they enjoy working hard and want to see those results. And so that's part of what is so special with Riley, is it's rare that you get to see one of your kids achieve that ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm. And, you mentioned about, you want athletes, good athletes. Certainly Prescott had those this year on the ladies' side. You look at our top 3 picks here for the top 10 local female athletes of the year. Riley was #1, but then you got Kenzie Blanchard at #2. You got Violet Williams at #3, and both Kenzie and Violet outstanding at both soccer and track and field. So I think that is certainly a testament to the kind of athletes. And think about all the other really good female athletes on over at Prescott that I actually had on my candidate list, but just unfortunately didn't make the top 10 this year. So I think that's a testament to the kind of talent that you have over there in Badger Nation.
Well, and there's on the boys and the girls side both, there's a lot of amazing kids and a lot of amazing athletes, like you said, and Kenzie and Violet are definitely studs in their sports, and hats off to them. They all deserve that recognition. And Riley's also a multi-sport athlete, and those multi-sport athletes are really what make up the majority of our programs. We kind of rely on those kids, and I think ultimately being able to play the multiple sports helps them in each of them. So I'm a big supporter of those kids that do that. Yep. And are able to do that successfully. So.
Yeah, well, Bobby, you're preaching to the choir here, because I try to champion being multi-sport athletes whenever I can, and it certainly has paid off, not just at Prescott High School, but I think also at Bradshaw and Chino Valley. Hey, Bobby, I want to thank you very much for joining us here on Tri-City Sports Roundup this morning and talking more about Riley Crockett, who is our #1 local female athlete of the year for 2023, 2024. Bobby, again, thanks again for joining us. And I'll probably be seeing you in a few weeks for my season preview interviews for I can't believe in a few more weeks fall sports is getting going. So you're going to be seeing me all over Prescott, pestering you and all the other coaches and athletes over there.
We appreciate it, and we're here. So,
All right, Bobby, again, thanks again. You have yourself a good one.
all right, you too, John. Thank you.
All right, that's Bobby Yoder. She is the head coach of the Prescott badminton team. Also, our Tri-City Sports Roundup #1 local coach of the year for 2023-2024. And folks, well, hard to believe we only have one more top 10 list left for this summer, and that's going to be our top 10 local male athletes of the year. But we're not going to be doing that next week. Why, you ask? Because next week, I ain't going to be here. Well, I'm not going to be here live, but I will be here in recorded form. Next week, we will be running a best of show on Tri-City Sports Roundup. I am on vacation all next week. Scott Jackson and Marty Myers, and I believe also Jason Zinzaletta, they'll be handling all my sports reports for next week while I am off doing some maxing and relaxing and just getting the batteries recharged and ready to go for fall sports. Like I said, hard to believe that in a few weeks, fall sports is going to get going. In fact, I think probably less than 2 weeks, I think the athletes at Yavapai College and Embry-Riddle are going to be back on campus. And I think Embry-Riddle volleyball has a scrimmage on August 10th, and I think either men's or women's soccer at Embry-Riddle also has a scrimmage on the 10th or the 12th. So, yeah, fall sports is rapidly approaching. Meanwhile, what's rapidly approaching is the regular season finale for the Northern Arizona Wranglers. They're in Albuquerque tomorrow to take on Duke City, and Northern Arizona going to need to win that game, and they're going to need some help from a couple other teams if they have any shot of making the IFL playoffs this year. So good luck to the Wranglers. And again, folks, I will be seeing you next Saturday, or not next Saturday, 2 weeks from today. So I believe that's going to be August 3rd when we will have our top 10 local male athletes of the year. And then after that, well, we'll just be talking to coaches. We're going to be talking to athletes. Of course, we'll be having athletes in here throughout the fall season, and along with the winter season and the spring season, as we dive into covering all the local sports happenings here in the Tri-City area on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. Stay tuned. Healthline with Dr. David Hancock coming up at 9 o'clock. Then at 10, it is Drive Time Arizona. I also believe today at 11 is our brand new show, Eye on Prescott. So we've got more local talk for you here on Saturday morning. Thanks for tuning in to us here on KYCA. Folks, that'll do it for this show. Again, next week, a best of show. 2 weeks from now, we're back live with the top 10